It's been said that every quilt tells a story, and it's so true. But I also believe every quilter has a story to tell. I wanted to hear about the people behind these wonderful quilts and thought you'd enjoy hearing about their lives also. Welcome to A Quilter's Life. As our family had to travel to the Finger Lakes area of New York State, we made it a point to visit the It's a Wonderful Life Museum in Seneca Falls, since it's a movie we watch every year. What a great time we had looking at the artifacts and memorabilia they have available. Then, of course, a quilt on display caught my attention. The attendant had such great information on the movie and the museum, and she was able to share with me that Barbara Reigel, one of the museum's trustees, had made the quilt. I was quite delighted when Barbara called me later that afternoon to schedule an interview. I'm so thankful that Barbara and others have worked so hard to establish and keep this wonderful museum going. The It's a Wonderful Life Museum and Festival are certainly worth seeing. Barbara, thanks so much for being on A Quilter's Life.
No problem.
I wanted to start with, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Seneca Falls, and I was born in Seneca Falls.
Oh, neat. Now that's Seneca Falls, New York.
Yes.
After high school, did you go on to college, or did you go into the workforce right away?
Well, I went into the workplace a day after I graduated from high school at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. I worked with a group of women down there. They were wonderful.
Oh, neat. And what was that job?
Oh, it was just typing in a pool.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You mentioned that you were born and raised in Seneca Falls. Did you stay there the whole time, or did you move somewhere else and then move back?
Well, after we were married for 15 years, my husband decided that he was going to move to Utica, New York. So we moved to Utica, and he got a job there.
And how long were you there?
Oh, I think almost 20 years.
Wow.
And then we moved back to Seneca Falls. Oh, yes. Then after we left the Utica area, we went to Baldwinsville, New York. That's near Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
So then we were there for almost 15 years, I think.
Did you have a big family or little family?
My husband had one brother, and I have a brother and a sister.
Okay. So do you live near family?
Now, yes.
It's always good to be with family.
Yes, it is.
Besides quilting, are there other crafts that you do or have done?
Yes, I've made towels and then embroidered on the towels and things like that.
And how about other hobbies like cooking, baking, any other?
I'd like to do both of those things.
And some people call them hobbies and some people call them chores, so I like to find out. And do any of your other crafts or hobbies show up in your quilting?
Sometimes, like I made a quilt for my sister, and that was my sister's quilt. And she loves it.
Yeah. Now, the one quilt I saw that you made, you had pictures in it. Were there pictures in your sister's quilt?
Yes.
Can you describe it to me?
Well, I did embroidery on it and pictures and a few things like that.
Nice.
Yes. She has it hanging in her bedroom.
Oh, wow. She must really like it.
Yes.
Well, when you started quilting, was there someone that introduced you, or did you just...
Well, I started up in Rumson, New York. It's a small little town between Utica and Old Forge. And this lady said, "Would you like to learn how to do a quilt?" And I said, "Oh, that would be great." So she got me hooked on quilting.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I've been quilting for at least the last 30 years.
Wow. So did you meet with her weekly, or
Yes.
how did that come about?
Well, she didn't live too far away from me. And then we started a stitching bitch group. There were 4 of us, and we had it once a week, and we did different quilts.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you happen to have a favorite quilt?
Yes. I have a flannel one that I did not too long ago. It has flowers in it, and it's beige and burgundy colors. But that's my favorite.
Nice. And you said you made it with flannel?
Yes.
And while you're quilting, is there a tool that you use that you are so happy that you have?
No.
During the process, do you like each step of the quilting process, or is there a part of the process you like better than others?
Well, I like to pick out different pictures that I'm going to put in my quilt, especially It's a Wonderful Life quilt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of just lay them out and then start sewing.
Is there a color palette you like to work with more than others?
No, not really. I've worked with all colors.
That's great. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting in a rut.
Yes.
Then why do you think you make quilts rather than spending your time doing something else?
Because I enjoy it so. Last year I made 2 It's a Wonderful Life quilts, and Anway kept one for the museum, and then we raffled off the other one.
That's great. And I wanted to mention that now you're a board member for the It's a
Yes.
Wonderful Life Museum,
Yes.
which is also in Seneca Falls.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, thank you so much. I had so much fun going through that museum on Tuesday.
Oh, good.
You guys have done a great job with it.
Yes.
And I came home with the cat's meow figures.
Oh, I love them. Aren't they cute?
They are. They're wonderful. Well, I know you make quilts for the It's a Wonderful Life Museum, but are there others you make quilts for?
Like my nephew, he is married now, and they have 2 little babies, so I've made quilts for their babies, and whenever anybody has a baby, I try to do one for them.
That's great.
Yes.
Are you working on a quilt right now?
No. Because a few weeks ago I had pneumonia, so I was in the hospital. Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I'm feeling much better now, so
Oh, that's good.
I'll start making things.
I wanted to hear how you got involved with the It's a Wonderful Life Museum.
Well, Joyce Sinacropi, I was in town one day because I was in Baldwinsville then. And so she said, would you like to be on the It's a Wonderful Life committee? And I said, yes, I would. And then I got my sister involved in it too. So we both were involved in it. And my sister kind of has dropped out of it now, but I'm still in it. So I said, well, I can make a quilt for you. And so everybody said, oh, that would be great. We'll raffle it off this year. And so I've made 10 of them so far.
Wow. Does that raffle coincide with the festival? And that's in December?
Yes.
And did I hear that some of the actors that are still living come during that time too?
Yes, they do. Yep. There's at least 4 of them that come every year.
Wow. And I assume you've gotten to meet and talk with them.
Oh, yes. We've become very good friends.
I bet you know more about that movie than you ever thought you would.
Yes.
Also, when I visited, you were in a different location. Can you tell me what's going on with the location you will be having?
Well, we got some of the $10 million that they had in New York State that they gave to certain places. So we got some of that money. So we're having the old museum redone. So we're having the upstairs all ripped out and everything so that we can have the whole museum for It's a Wonderful Life.
That will be so neat. I'm going to have to come back up and see it once you get back in your building.
Yes, you will.
Is there anything else you would like to share with me?
It's just so much fun. The festival, when we have it, we have at least 10 to 14,000 people here for that. And then we have a dinner on Friday night and a dinner on Sunday night. And then in between on Saturday night, we have a dance. And I can't remember what else we have.
Well, I believe it's listed on the website, but it is a very full weekend from what I read.
Yes, it is. You don't get much sleep during that weekend, I tell you.
Oh, wow. And it must take all year for all the planning.
Yes, it does. We start the day after they leave on December, whatever the date is that we have it. Then we start planning for next year's.
Wow.
Yep.
That was so much fun walking through it and seeing all
Yes.
the items that you have.
Yes, we do have a lot of items, but it's so funny. Anway and Henry started the museum in 2010, and they only had 20 items. And then Carolyn Grimes, she said, well, I'll give you more items that you can use in there. And then everybody else who was in the movie has sent us different things. So we've gotten quite a few things.
Oh, that's a great place for them to be.
Yes. We were looking for like a kid that's maybe 10 or 12 that maybe they can take over when we can't do it anymore.
Well, I know all my kids love it, and they're in their 30s and 40s.
Oh,
And
nice.
hopefully they'll be passing that on to their kids.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with me. Have a wonderful
Alrighty.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can find more stories on aquilterslife.com. or subscribe on your favorite podcast player so each episode will be downloaded automatically. Also, I want to hear about you and your wonderful quilts. Please contact me, Paula Chamberlain, through the website to set up an interview. And as always, thanks for listening.